Appearing on ABC News last Sunday, presidential advisor David Axelrod argued Fox News is not a real news organization.
And the bigger thing is that other news organizations like yours ought not to treat them that way.
And today, the White House took its first concrete step in that direction. The administration contacted the White House pool, the 5-network rotation that has for decades shared the cost and duties of daily coverage of the presidency, and to which Fox News has belonged since 1997, and made available for round-robin interviews the executive pay czar, Ken Feinberg. But the administration specified that all members of the pool were welcome except Fox News. The Washington bureau chiefs of the 5 TV news networks consulted and decided that none of them would interview Feinberg unless Fox was included. And the administration relented, making Feinberg available to all 5 pool members and Bloomberg TV. David Zurowick is the television critic for the Baltimore Sun.
I think it's outrageous that the White House tried that, number one. That's my first reaction. My second reaction is I'm really cheered by the other members saying no. If Fox can't be part of it, we won't be part of it. What it's really about to me is the executive branch of the government trying to tell the press how it should behave. I mean, this democracy, we know this, only works with a free and unfettered press to provide information.
Asked earlier this week if the Obama administration wants to see Fox News kicked out of the White House pool, Press Secretary Robert Gibbs said he would not delineate for the news media a decision that belonged to them, adding, and I quote, "That's not my job." Brett?
Okay, James, thank you. Panel, what about the latest in this back and forth? Fred?
You know, trying to fiddle with the pools at the White House, which is an official thing, you know, a group of reporters go in when the whole kit and caboodle of the White House press corps can't go. It's an official thing, and to fool with that to try to ban Fox is just breathtaking in its pettiness. And to think that the Obama White House has gone this far, you know, it's time to let go. This doesn't help them. Look, we've seen this. Conservative presidents have done this, attack the media. Remember in 1992, those bumper stickers, vote for Bush, annoy the media. Well, maybe it did. I don't think it annoyed the media much when he got 37 or 38% of the vote. Presidents do not benefit from this. Obama's not going to benefit from it at all, and he just ought to stop. I thought this interview would be the time for him to stop, to back off, but he's not backing off at all. I mean, this is crazy. And one adjective comes up. And when this adjective comes up, you know you're in trouble. Charles is nodding. It's Nixonian. Exactly. That's the one. And that's not a compliment.
When the 5-network rotation stood up, after that announcement was made, the administration relented. Then the Feinberg interviews were taken from 5 minutes to 2 minutes. Now, there may be extenuating circumstances for the timing, but every network only had 2 minutes with the pay czar.
I don't have as much of a problem with. Ken Feinberg did a masterful job in those 2 minutes. He got across.
So why not put him out there for 5?
Well, look, the White House.
Or 10.
The White House got its job, accomplished its goal with Ken Feinberg in 2 minutes. He made an absolutely blindingly articulate case for the White House.
One reporter called it like speed dating.
Okay,
because
maybe it was.
Because you were in and out.
You know what? It's like then I think that on that grounds the press has very little to complain about. Go and interview other people about the pay issue. They gave us Ken Feinberg for 2 minutes. However,
turn, Mara, to the question of the president saying Fox News is like talk radio.
The White House view is that a lot of Fox News is like talk radio, and I think in the short run, this war is probably benefiting both sides. It certainly hasn't hurt Fox ratings at all. We wouldn't be discussing it otherwise. And the White House, I think, is sending in a message to its base that says we're going to fight back against our biggest enemy in the media. In the long term, I don't really understand where this goes, because now the pool question was a good example. The White House, every White House plays favorites and has people they want to give interviews to and people who they don't. If they dealt with every network individually, they wouldn't have had this problem. To deal with the pool as an official entity, I didn't understand that at all, because the pool acted as it has to act in its official capacity to represent everybody. I just don't see where this goes in the future and how it benefits anybody.
Charles.
Lamar Alexander is a senator. He's an old hand in Washington. He was a Secretary of Education in the first Bush administration, and he's not a wingnut. And he gave a speech this week in which he expressed dismay and alarm over the way the Obama administration is demonizing, not just criticizing, but demonizing and trying to ostracize and destroy its opponents. And he went through a list of these, including the Chamber of Commerce, the insurance companies, the Fox News, I would add the way it tried to demonize the people who attended the town halls in August and those who have demonstrated in the teabag demonstrations. And Alexander said, I was in the Nixon White House at the age of 27, and I saw how the poison of enemies lists worked and what happened in the end. And when Alexander is saying that, I think the people ought to listen. I think this is really destructive. What happened today, I think, was extremely important, because in trying to ostracize and demonize Fox, the administration needs complicity from other news organizations. Otherwise, it won't work. And what happened today was other news organizations admirably and on principle standing up and saying, no, if you are not going to include the Fox, we're not going to go. And that, the solidarity, I think, is important. We are all in the business together. We have different perspectives. Nobody enjoys a kind of holy objectivity. And what happened, I thought, was a confrontation between an overreaching executive and a free press, and the executive backed down.
It was a big moment for the White House press pool. But Mara, where are the First Amendment folks that a lot of times you look at it, what if this happened under George W. Bush and he didn't
someone get kicked off Cheney's plane? Remember that?
I
think a news organization did get kicked off Cheney's plane.
Everyone stood up.
Yeah, but
it wasn't a concerted campaign that there is against Fox News.
And it wasn't in midair.
Yeah.
Well, my point being,
look, I think that access is not the same thing as free speech. I mean, access means the White House is not duty bound by the First Amendment to give everybody the same interview.
No,
nobody said
but
that.
But as long as they're using the pool system, which they probably now think it was a mistake, the pool acts as it's supposed to, which is a guardian for everybody's interest collectively.
Well, just wait. And the next step, if the next step is to bar White House, Fox News from sending White House reporters, I mean, they could yank their press pass and bar them if they want to. No, I don't think they'd go that far, but it fits in with what they're doing so far.
That's it for the panel, but stay tuned for an